Hello and welcome back. Let's start exploring Tailwind CSS from its official page at tailwindcss.com. This page itself is built with Tailwind CSS, and you can see a lot of functionalities that is implemented in the Tailwind CSS page. Now let's go to get started. From this page, we can see how we can install Tailwind CSS in different ways. We can do that on command line or using post CSS, or how you can implement Tailwind CSS with different frameworks and also using CDN. But before we do that, we're going to start with Tailwind CSS using the Tailwind Playground. Let me open it up. Just click Playground here, and the Tailwind Playground is a browser development environment for Tailwind. As you can see here, this is a Tailwind developed page, and this is the code that developed the page. And these are all Tailwind classes. As you can see, all these are classes, and we have them all in here. You don't need to know how that works right now, but it's just for you to see that when you add Tailwind CSS classes, it converts it to vanilla CSS and gives you very good looking styles without going through the stress using vanilla CSS. I'm going to clear up the HTML here. And as you can see, the browser side is not showing anything. I'm going to add a normal div that just shows welcome to Tailwind. And then I'm going to put in a Tailwind CSS class that applies a style to the text. We're going to talk about the classes later, but now let's just look at the development environment. You can do a lot of stuff with Tailwind CSS very easily. Our Tailwind version is version 3.4.3. There are other lesser versions, and version 4.0 is on the way. From this playground interface, you can also change the orientation of your design space. You want to see the whole browser, or you can also change the way the browser shows here. If you click this, it makes it look this way, so you can expand and reduce the size of the output browser. Let me take this out, and then you can change the mode. So right now your code is in dark mode, and the output looks the way you designed it. When you're done with your code, you can use this copy button to copy the code and maybe place it in your development environment. We will be using the Tailwind Playground interface for few of our examples, but the interface we will be using, the IDE we will be using, is VS Code. Let's open up a VS Code project and install some important extension that will help us to do Tailwind CSS very well in VS Code. The first extension is the Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. This extension helps you to have IntelliSense preview when writing your Tailwind CSS, and also show the CSS code that is attached to the Tailwind CSS classes that you're using. As you can see right here, I have installed it. If you haven't installed an extension, it's going to show this way. It's going to show install, and then when you click install, it shows this way. You will see disable and uninstall. So I have installed this, and that is why you're seeing it this way. Then another one that we will use is the snippet extension. And as you can see, I've also installed the snippet extension. These are the extensions for now. We have some more extensions later that we're going to show. So let's go back and create an index.html file that we will be using. And just open up a normal HTML. What I just did is I did this sign, and then it brought out the whole HTML code. Let's go back to the browser and again check the getting started page. On this page, you would see an HTML code. We're going to include a CDN. I'm going to copy out this link, which serves as the CDN to Tailwind CSS. And this gives the HTML template the ability to process Tailwind CSS. So on the header page, you just add in this script, just this line, and then whatever Tailwind CSS you add here, I'm copying the one we did the last time. It's going to work using Tailwind CSS. Let me increase the font size of this code. I'm going to File Preference Settings, and I'll just look for font size. Yeah, font size is at 14. I'm going to turn it to 20. Yeah, so it's bigger now. And an easier way to check this in the browser is to install another extension, which is the Visual Studio Code Live Server. The Live Server enables you to browse your code while working on your HTML in VS Code. And as you can see, I've already installed the Live Server. And to initiate or activate the Live Server, let me go back to the code here. You will see right here, you will see Go Live. And when you click the Go Live button, it's going to start an HTTP server, and then it shows you a web page that contains the code you just wrote. I'm going to try to put this and the VS Code side by side. So as I work, I can see my code and also see the changes that I'm making. I'm going to put the VS Code and the browser side by side so I can see the changes that I'm making. You can see welcome to Tailwind. Let me put CSS here and see if it changes. Yeah, you can see that is working now. All I did was add the Tailwind CDN. You might use the CDN just like the Tailwind playground, just for you to practice. Actually, for production, you wouldn't be using the CDN or the playground options, because they will produce a bloated file. Because with the CDN, it puts in all the classes that Tailwind has, even the one that is not using at the moment. You can see right here, we're just using 2 classes, but all the classes, that is almost like 700 classes, are added to your file. And this is not production effective. And this is why you need to install Tailwind in the production way using the Tailwind CSS option, the Tailwind CSS CLI option. So instead of using the Play CDN, we're going to be using the Tailwind CLI installation option. And from there, will see we're going to be using npm install. Let's leave it here for now and do that in the next video. Thank you very much. This video is part of my course on Udemy titled Mastering Tailwind CSS with Project Example. Currently, we have 18 project examples that you can use. So go to the link in the description below for our sales coupon to access the course.